Hey, what's up my friends? How are y'all doing today? I hope pretty good. We are out here on the Cumberland River and we're going to be doing some yellow bass fishing today. So I did catch some last week. I put out a video on that, so I figured we just do something mainly oriented towards yellow bass fishing. They are around right now and it's a pretty fun species to catch. They're little, tiny. It's kind of like brim fishing, but they're a bit more aggressive. So we got these Slider Crappie Grubs. They're 1 1/2 inch and they're a little paddle tail. So that's kind of what they look like. I'll do a little bait review on them at the end. I saw them, I haven't used them yet, but the best way for me personally to catch these fish, I feel, is with a tiny little jig head and a tiny little paddle tail. It just drives them crazy. So we're gonna bounce this around and see if we can't get some nice yellow bass on, and whatever else we catch. I think a lot of different species are gonna hit this, but thanks for joining me, guys. Let's get some fish on, and then I'll catch y'all at the house for a little bait and gear review. We are doing this on a BFS setup, so it's got some real light casting gear with a 6-pound mono. All right, wish me luck, guys. Let's get some fish on. It is pretty cold this morning. It's in the 40s right now. Should have worked its way up to the 60s at some point, but pretty cold morning, not in the sun. So I think we might try to find some sunlight for my own personal enjoyment. We're just bouncing this. This does have good action. That tail really does flap for such a small bait. If we just bounce this down these rocks, I bet we're gonna get hit. Got one. Come on in. Nice little yellow fella. Oh, you did choke that. You're warmer than I am. Give me that bait back. Ooh. About to jump out of my hands. Gotta lip him. Nice little yellow. That's what I'm talking about. Little mini fish. All right, get you back in. I bet we can do that again. Got one. What's up, little yellow? How you doing, my friend? Ooh, those spines, my friends, are razor sharp. You really gotta make sure you get that dorsal down. Now he just tore up our bait pretty bad. Oop. Quick release. Let me get you. Yeah, I'm just gonna deal with that right now. He is a aggressive one. Was not happy about getting caught. You know what? I think we could get a couple, maybe another fish out of that before it tears right off. Ooh, got one. Nice one. Wow. Oh, that's a drum. Nice drum on the bait. So the bait catches drum too. Not surprised. Biggest fish of the day. Nice little drummy. I did used to catch these on really tiny baits. Come on, man. Man, that hook That is a razor hook. That got really in there. Let me get you unhooked here, buddy. Sorry, buddy. There we go. Alright guys, nice little decent sized drum on. Pretty legit. Took me for a surprise. I did not know. I've been so used to catching all these little fish this morning. Took me by surprise, kind of freaked me out, buddy. Good looking one though. Get him back in and keep on going at it. That was a heavy hit. There, got him. Oh, yay. Guys, I love catching these. Look how pretty that is. It's a little baby. Gosh, I'm not even sure. They're hard to tell when they're this young. I think it's a saw guy. All right, get you back in there. That's a cool fish, man. I think those are so cool. All right, guys, I'm about to go find some sunlight. I'm absolutely freezing right now. So I will see you at the next spot, probably about 40 feet down the river. Yes, I have found the sunlight, my friends. Oh, got one. What do we got? What do we got? Another little yellow. Man, you are teeny tiny. Alright, this is an awesome bait for catching super tiny fish, I gotta say. This is probably a brim slayer right here. Look how tiny that little yellow is. I was watching Terminator 2 last night. Probably the best Terminator in my opinion. I love the old 80s action movies, the old 80s Arnold ones, Conan, Commando and stuff. They just don't make them like they used to. They're a ton of fun. They're not always logical, but they're a lot of fun to watch. Got one. Oh, this one feels kind of decent compared to the other ones we've been pulling in. It's fun I'm saying that this is decent. I used to been spoiled catching nice big old fish lately at big old bass day. But now we're struggling, but look at that little yellow one. Beautiful colors on her. This is too much fun. Should have brought my ultralight out. I knew we'd be catching some tiny ones. I thought they'd be a little bigger, but I mean, it just shows how effective this BFS setup is, really. Hey, what's up everyone? I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I had a great time making it as always. So I set out to catch some yellow bass and we caught some yellow bass. Basically, I have been getting them on pretty frequently as of lately. You know, they've been pretty hot running around my area. Anyhow, I had been thinking in the back of my head maybe I'll do an episode on kind of targeting them. And it kind of got pushed to the side when I was cleaning out my tackle room, which is basically a walk-in closet in my bedroom that I have an abundance of tackle now. And you know, I just kind of put it in there. So I was organizing it because it was a nightmare. It took me a couple days, my dear Lord. Anyhow, while I was going through it, I saw these one 1/2 inch crappie grubs by Slider. So right away I'm like, that is going to get bit by yellow bass, because if there's one thing yellow bass bite, it's tiny little paddle tails. If there's two, it's 16th ounce marabou jigs, because those drive them crazy as well. Anyhow, I just had these and I hadn't made a video yet with them. I intended to use them on crappie, however just never got around to it, and they've been sitting around waiting to be used. I saw them and figured, you know what, this would be perfect for that yellow bass episode. So sure enough, they worked. Pop this open here. I really enjoyed fishing with it. I mean, look at the boot on that. That, in perspective to the size of the bait, that's a really big paddle, and it just did a fine job displacing water and getting that attention of those tiny little fish, getting noticed while maintaining a small profile as well. So I thought that was neat. I thought it was a great little effective bait for tiny fish. And those yellows we caught were tiny. They're a lot of fun to catch, however. They're also good eating too. The ones we caught were pretty small, and I think that's partially has to do with us using such a small bait. I think if I had something slightly bigger, probably catch way less fish, but they probably would have been a little bit bigger, but whatever. We went quantity over quality today for sure. I mean, those were some fun fish. They were pretty, they were good looking. It was a good fight, and we definitely got a bunch on, so I had a nice time doing it. All right, anyhow, back to the bait. I thought functionality wise it was fantastic. Durability wise it was really good. Even when it was like almost torn in half, we were still catching fish on it. I think I only went through 2 the entire time, maybe 3. I think I did snag one up, but fish wise they only tore apart one of my baits, and I caught a lot of yellows. I didn't show every single catch because that would be the most boring video ever. I just threw in the ones I found interesting or I enjoyed that flowed well with the video I was trying to make. I paired those with the Mr. Crappie Strike King 1/8 ounce jig head. That slab slasher hook, it says that right on there. I think that's some pretty cool marketing there. The reason I selected this was I knew I wanted a 1/8 ounce weighted jig head to fish this on, just to give me a little more distance with that 6-pound line I was running on that BFS gear. I also, I'll rig one up right now. I also wanted a sickle type hook when I am fishing for those smaller fish, even up to the size of white bass. I like having a sickle type hook. I find that I get way less short strikes. The majority of the time a fish hits that bait, they're gonna get hooked. It's razor sharp, man, and it keeps them on. Oh, perfect. So that's kind of what it looked like, what we were working with right there. So you can see there is some hook exposed to catch that fish right away. That exposed hook is another thing I like to fish. I mean, obviously you're not going to be feeling every little peck. Sometimes you're not going to have the chance to hook set a fish. You got to kind of rely on them doing it themselves, or you're reeling hooking them. Excuse me. Jeez. So there's the hook is short enough to still give the bait a lot of action. It's long enough to catch that fish on it for sure. The reason I chose it was the smallest hook I could find between Dick's and Academy, which are the 2 places that are closest to me that I can get tackle, besides Walmart, which doesn't have that amazing of a selection all the time. So yeah, basically that was my idea behind the bait selection. It worked. It was a fantastic bait. I like the jig heads as well. It'd be useful for other little baits for me. And what we were throwing them on was this BFS setup I have. One of my all-time favorite setups, man. And you know, we could have done it on spinning gear, sure, easy, no problem, but I thought it would be a lot more fun. It's fun for me to fish with this stuff. That's why I do it so often. I have a lot more fun doing it than if I was to take like a medium light, say, spinning rod. Like I have a lot more fun using this casting gear. So I think this is one of the most aesthetically pleasing combos I've ever owned. It's just beautiful, functional. The rod's so nice, guys. It's that Daiwa black label LG, that limbric graphite, excuse me, and that is a 610 medium light fast action rod. But again, it's that limbric graphite, so it's gonna have that little extra bit of flex. It's, gosh, it's just so much fun to use. And I think it looks really, really good with this reel. I mean, for the reel, we're working with that Silver Creek Custom Daiwa BFS reel. That's an 8.5:1 gear ratio. It's got that nice drag clicker on there. It also has the cork handles, which just pair so well with the cork on this rod, which you can see is somewhat abundant and just looks really, really pretty on there. The rods also has nice silver accents, and so does the reel. So man, they just flow, and it's a lot of fun to fish. Anyhow, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I had a great time making it. I love making these videos. I got a really special one planned for next time. So I got my son this weekend. Monday I'm gonna get out there. Hopefully I can get this video done. Also, my buddy Kyle, shout out to Kyle, he's getting that boat fixed up and gonna take us catfishing. So I'll try and make an episode out of that. It should be kind of fun. It's something I'm not very good at, but I really, really want to learn more about. Obviously I know how to throw down a line and catch a catfish like that, but I want to catch some big ones, and man, he gets some tanks on them. But I also have another special episode planned for you guys that I've put a lot of thought into. Anyhow, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and get some good fish on, my friends. I'll see you next time. Oh, and you know what? If you're watching this long, you enjoyed the video, give me a like, subscribe. It gives me the motivation to keep making videos, really, to see people appreciate them, and it makes me feel like I'm making them for someone other than myself. But guys, take care of yourselves. I'll catch y'all later.